conducted in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertisement in the Cape May Star and Wave on the Township website and posted on the bulletin boards of Township Hall.
All right, at this time, we can please stand for the flag salute, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Conrad.
Here.
Councilmember Perry.
Here.
Councilmember Roy.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Sippel.
Here.
Mayor Simonson.
I'm here. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. We haven't had a crowd like this in a while, for good reason. So we thank everyone for coming out. There's a few dignitaries I'd like to recognize, and that is we have Republican Chairman for Cape May County, Marcus Caravan. Marcus, welcome. Our County Clerk, the best in the state, Rita Fulgenetti. Also our State Representative, Linda Palugi. The Honorable Judge, Michael Donahue. We knew him when he was a solicitor right here in Lower Township. And also would like to recognize Jack Chittarelli, who is a former assemblyman, and we hope will be moving on to bigger and better things very shortly in his career. But welcome, Jack. I know he's traveled a long way to get here. And did I forget anybody? Everyone knows I'm blind, so if I did, forgive me. So, all right, we move down to our work session.
Resolution number 2020-01. Appointment of a municipal solicitor for the year 2020 as a professional service contract without public bidding. This is to award to Stefanklitz and Belasco.
All right, do I get a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve. Second. Public comment.
Public comment, I'm sorry. Anyone, any comments from the public? No, I see none. Close the public portion.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simonson.
Yes.
Resolution number 2020-03. This is the appointment of a municipal judge. It's a 3-year term, and the name is Thomas Keywood Esquire.
Any comments from council? Questions? Hearing none, close that. Open it to the public. Any questions or comments? Seeing none at this time, could we please have the Honorable Judge Michael Donahue?
Wait. I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second.
Motion to appoint. Yeah, we don't usually do it in the work session, so we moved everything up on the agenda, so. All right.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simonson.
Yes. All right. Now, the Honorable Judge Michael Donahue will come forward. Also, Tom Keywood, he will be with his wife Kelly, I believe he's holding the Bible, and daughter Kirsten. Yes, and his mother Gloria Sutton will also.
You can hear me, right? Yes. Yeah. Put for the.
It's okay.
He's louder than me. Ready? I state your name.
I, Thomas D. Keywood,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of Judge of the Municipal Court for Lower Township
for the office of Judge of the Municipal Court of Lower Township
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, Judge.
Great to see you. Congrats. Congrats. Good to see you.
Good. Thank you. Congratulations, Judge Keywood. That is a nice ring to it.
Thank you.
While we're waiting, I'd also like to recognize two of our freeholders that have joined us, and that's freeholder Will Morey and freeholder Marie Hayes. Welcome. All right, at this time, we move down to our consent agenda. Are there any questions or comments from council? There's a lot of information on there, but seeing none, we close the council portion, open it to the public. Any questions or comments on anything on the consent agenda? We ask that if you step up to the mic, you just give us your name and address for the record. Don't see any. We close the public portion.
Approval of minutes and closed session minutes from December 16th and December 24th, 2019. Resolution number 2020-02, resolution number 2020-04 through 2020-47, and ordinance 2020-01, an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank per NJSA 48-4-15.14. This is the first reading of this ordinance. The second reading and public hearing have been scheduled for January 22nd. That's a Wednesday.
All right. Need a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simonson?
Yes.
Resolution number 2020-48. This is the reappointment of a Class 3 member to the Planning Board. Councilmember Roland Roy.
Any questions from council? You have any questions, Roland?
No, I'm fine.
You sure? All right, we open it to the public. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion. Approve. I'll happily second that one.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Abstain.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simonson?
Yes.
Resolution number 2020-49. This is a resolution designating the Lower Township Rescue Squad as the provider of emergency medical services for Lower Township. This is an annual resolution that is required.
Recusing.
Any questions or comments? Tom's in timeout again. All right, we open it to the public. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, close the public portion. I make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel,
Yes.
Mayor Simonson.
Yes.
Resolution number 2020-50. This is for payment of vouchers payable to Officer Perry. It's a contractual reimbursement in the amount of $250.45.
All right, questions or comments from council? Public? Seeing none, I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Abstain.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simonson.
Yes. Move down to manager's report. Mr. Ridgway?
Yeah, good evening, council. Happy New Year. I have some good news to report on the finish of 2019 in Lower Township. The department heads kept their teams working very efficiently for the past 2 to 3 months, in that we had 4 departments where we were running with reduced staff for certain periods of time for a lot of factors. But stating that, I want to start with our tax assessor's office, because we're finalizing our budget, and I met with all the department heads individually last week. So I'll give you some information. Our tax assessor's office is now fully staffed after running for a year with 2 employees, and our documents show our ratables from last Jan 1 to now, ending the year, we're up $17 million, which was, last year we were up $11 million, and over 500 properties this year we were able to get out and compared to 150 properties the year before. Our reclassification for the CRS program came through, and we will continue in the process of the Class 7, and our taxpayers who live in a special flood zone will continue to receive a 15% reduction in their flood insurance premiums. Also, last week, we received notice that our revised new tax maps that we've been waiting for almost 17 months are in the final review process, and soon will be sent to the New Jersey Division of Taxation for certification. On to the tax collector. As you know, we lost a very good tax collector 2 years ago. But in meeting with the tax collector this year, for years, Lower has had outstanding tax collection. But Kathy Brown has done a job that is incredible. She outdid herself by beating all the previous 9 years. Our collection rate for this year was 98.98%, which is outstanding. And kudos to her. On to our Boca and construction offices. The permit revenue this year increased from $580,000 to $709,000, despite losing a shared service, as new construction and renovations are rampant through our township, as people are continuing to upgrade properties and build new properties. Over 635 cases were handled by our code enforcement officers during this very busy year. A quick note about recreation regarding our Ferry Merry and our New Year's Eve party. Both very good attendance. And the basketball tournament, I have to give a shout out to our local Elks. The Elks have been a very strong contributor. And you go around to these tournaments, gentlemen, you pay to get in. You have a lot of kids, you pay. You know, we're able to do our tournament with 60 teams with no admission. We ran it at 3 schools. Bruce and Mitch did an outstanding job. And again, the Elks made a nice contribution to us, which allowed us to do that. The bathroom renovations at the rec center will be completed in the next 3 weeks, and then we will be looking at 2020 major renovations to Mulligan Park, Jonathan Hoffman Park, and Rotary Park. All 3 are scheduled for 2020. Our concert schedule is finally finalized with 9 acts this year, And we're excited to kick it off with the sensational Soul Cruisers, along with Amish Outlaws, because the Soul Cruisers have been our biggest draw, and they were picked up by a national agency out of Los Angeles, and we didn't think we would get a date this year, but that way we'll be starting strong. Lastly, I want to mention a shared service thing that we had gone to a while back. In 2015, our utilities at the public safety building were $131,000 and change. This year it was just over $90,000, of which we received $40,000 from the county for reimbursement for their use. So we're seeing substantial savings there with utilities, almost $80,000 in 1 year. And as I stated before in dispatch, with 2 new municipalities coming on board, that shared service is coming to fruition of what we had hoped for when we entered into this 3 years ago. I want to thank the mayor and council for their support in the past year, and we look forward to presenting our budget in the next month. That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Jim, appreciate it. We don't have a manager's report tonight, correct? All right, we move right down to our council comments. Tom.
Hope you're having a good new year. Go from there, not feeling great.
Well, Happy New Year. Look forward to continuing on what we've been doing the last 5 years that I've been on council. I know there's going to be a lot of improvements happening within our township. If you notice, South Jersey Gas is diligently replacing gas lines. The MUA is working on water lines, and we're going to follow right behind them with redoing roads and storm drains. So we're moving right along. We're going to keep the ball rolling.
All right, Councilman Roy.
Okay, just real quick, the Sunset Beach Club, along with New Jersey Watershed Ambassador Daniel DeRosier, had instituted a beach cleanup program on New Year's Day at 10:30 in the morning. Approximately 80 volunteers were able to show up, and they collected a total of about 80 bags of trash. There were some local residents there that I saw, and I just wanted to put out a thank you to them for coming out, participating. It was a nice event. We hope to do a few more of these cleanups as the spring rolls around. Thank you.
Sounds good. Sergeant Major.
Okay, just a couple of things. I want to echo what the manager said about the recreation department. I actually did attend the New Year's Eve, we'll call it, event at the rec center. It was very nice. I actually attended the basketball tournament over the weekend, over the holidays, I should say. Very good also. And I was not aware about the Elks giving money for the tournament, because usually they do pay to go in. It was actually a pleasant surprise where we charged people to get in there.
$2,500.
So that's good, so I appreciate that. I want to thank the Rotary Club for putting the Christmas parade on again, and Marie Hayes for attending the parade. Thank you. Last but not least, I want to thank Mayor Simonson, even though we thanked him at the last meeting. Today is his last official meeting as the mayor. I want to thank Eric for what he's done on council, serving as a councilman and mayor, and you're still close to home, so we'll still be calling you.
Absolutely.
So that's all I have, and thank you.
All right, thank you. I will keep it brief. I see another constituent of mine, our Assemblyman-elect Antoine McClellan is in the house, so welcome. So it's been 10 years sitting up here. I've served in Ward 2, I've served in Ward 3, and now as mayor. And I'm proud to say that over the last couple of years with this team, not just up here, but the team that we have in the township with our department heads, our hard workers, all of our people right here in Town Hall, our clerk and assistant clerk, of course, our manager and everybody, we've succeeded. And what I mean by succeeded is I know, and Mr. Ridgway has rattled off some of it tonight, that Lower Township's in the best state it's ever been in its history, and Lower Township goes back to the 1700s. So I'm very proud of that fact, to be part of a team that has been able to be financially and fiscally responsible. That's one of the things that I set out when I first ran. Another thing was when I first began coming to the meetings and sitting up here. I think my daughter's still out there. I don't know if she's still there, but I was not pleasant to be around on Mondays because our council meetings were a disgrace to any elected official, the way people acted and the way they were allowed to act at our meetings. So I take a lot of pride in having respect for my town and others, and I expect them to show the same. We've gotten rid of divisiveness right here in the township. Our meetings have become productive. People treat each other with respect, whether it's criticism or whether it's, being thankful for what they get, the services they get. But I can tell you that, we've worked very hard to improve a lot of the infrastructure within the town. We've improved the roads. We put a road system in for determining the worst roads in each ward, which we work on. We put a list together, 5 roads a year from each ward to get the roads fixed that need to be fixed. Our MUA, there was a time when Tom and I sat up here and were attacked meeting after meeting where they were trying to dissolve our MUA. We fought that fight. It was not a pretty fight, but we stayed the course. And our MUA is probably the best in the state of New Jersey, the lowest rates. We also fought for our police to have a better police station to work in, which is now our public safety building, which, as Manager Ridgway explained, saves our township millions of dollars and now continues to save money per year with our county dispatch, which is also located there. We worked on economic development, which economic development was talked about but was never acted on. Now we have a flourishing airport thanks to Will Morey and our freeholders. We have tech villages going in. We have Cape May Brewery. We have a new public safety building and all the other businesses that have joined the ranks there in working with the county as well as our Delaware River Bay Authority. There was a time when no one knew what the Delaware River Bay Authority was, and now we have the head of the Delaware River Bay Authority attending some of our meetings, Tom Cook. He's worked with us. We brought in probably the greatest athletic event on the East Coast with Escape to Cape, thanks to Delmo Sports. I talk about shared services. That's why we've been able to keep taxes at 0 for the last several years. And we've got shared services with almost every town in Cape May County. We've worked together to get fire insurance down for our Diamond Beach section. We've worked to help with flooding insurance on our bay side. We continue to have shared services with Middle Township, Wildwood Crest, Wildwood, Cape May City, and of course our county as well. And I know that we will continue to do that. And the list goes on, but I can tell you that we've accomplished more in the last 5 years than has ever been done here in this town. And it's not any one individual, it's all the people working together. It's been a collaborative effort. It's been a great team to be a part of. And like Frank said, I'm not going anywhere, but we will be moving on to Trenton to represent this district, and we will do it well. This part of the state's been forgot about for too long, and I think with Antoine McClellan back there and our freeholders and the other elected officials in the county working together as a team, we can get a lot of things done here in our district. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for having faith in me to go to the next level, and I will continue to be a friend to Lower Township and help with anything that needs to be done here. I'm always, just a short bike ride away or a phone call away. So again, I want to thank you guys up here, Tom, Dave, Roland, and Frank. And I can tell you this, that our township is in very good hands moving forward. So thank you all. Have a happy new year. God bless you all. God bless your families. And enjoy Lower Township because it's a better place to be. So thank you. With that, I did want to thank my wife who couldn't be here tonight. She's a nurse. She's working, but my daughter did show up. I thought she'd never come to a council meeting after witnessing some of the early on goings on here, but thank you, Kathy, for coming and My family has been obviously very supportive because they let me come here and serve the people of Lower Township, and a lot of times it's hours away from both my daughters and my wife, so I appreciate that, so that we can serve our community and become a better community. So with that, we close our portion and we open it up to the public. If anyone has anything, we just ask that you state your name and address for the record. So at this time, we open it to the public.
Way in the back.
Come on up.
Kathy Sowers on 505 Shunpike. So I've lived at my house for 20-some years now. It's right across the street from the airport. It was always quiet. So last several years, I have been listening to roads torn up, construction going on. They put a new pump in where I had to hear boom, boom for I can't tell you how many months. Now all of a sudden, I have trucks going by my house every 20 minutes. And what they're doing is they're taking the sledge from the ferry and they're dumping it across the street from the airport in that plot of land. That plot of land sits right in the middle where all of our houses are. So no one told us about this, and I don't understand why it happened in Lower Township, and none of yous made it public. So I kind of called here and I talked to Eileen, who was very helpful. The one thing she did manage to do for us was have them start later on a Saturday, because it's 7 o'clock in the morning. That's when the pounding of the machines start, the trucks, I'm telling you, every 20 seconds. So I have all this extra construction traffic going up and down Shunpike. You know, Shunpike has a lot of young families on it. So I feel really let down by you guys that no one made us aware of it. So what I would like is for you to invite the Delaware River and Bay Authority's engineer to a meeting to discuss this with the residents. Because first of all, I don't know if it's going to stink in the summertime and I won't be able to sit out in my own yard. I don't know if it's going to be seeping into the ground and contaminating me. We just spent how many billions of dollars to clean up stuff at the airport, and I know how contaminated it was because way back when Everlong Fabrics was there, I worked there. So I know all about the contamination history over there. So who's to say this isn't going to seep into my groundwater because we all have well water? So I'd like to know why you guys didn't tell anybody about this.
Can I, real quick, I know you, I'm going to pass it to the manager to give you more information. Council was not made aware by the DRBA that they were doing that. Nobody else, we didn't find out until we started getting complaints from residents, and then we started trying to get answers. Nobody informed us.
Why were they allowed to do that in a
It's their
residential
property.
area?
It turns out it's their property, and the DRBA is an entity upon itself. But the manager has more information. I'm just letting you know. Council was called totally blindsided, just like you, but the difference is you have to live with it. We hear about it from different people, but nobody informed anybody of this matter.
So the opposite side of the coin versus all these improvements at the airport is there's a winner and there's a loser. So we're the losers, not only because of the noise, but there's a helicopter that buzzes us at 10 o'clock at night, and we have never been able to find out who it is or get them to stop. You know, it just seems like everything is happening at this airport, and nobody is taking into consideration the residents that have lived there for 20, 30, 40 years. And I don't understand why the DRBA is allowed to get away with this kind of stuff and not tell the township, not tell the county. How come nobody knew? Why didn't the county know? Why is anybody doing anything about it to stop it? Usually you read in the papers and online all these instances where, you know, people wanted to dump their sledge, the drudge stuff, and it turned into all these lawsuits, and they weren't allowed to do it. So why were they allowed to do it? Just because they owned the property? Do they own it? Do they rent it?
They own it. I'm going to give a quick answer, trying to order the manager. The DRBA is an entity upon itself set up by the state. It's under the governors of the states. We have no say. They pretty much can do anything they want down there. They don't have a liquor license. They build, do whatever. They don't have to get permits. We didn't set it up this way. But I'm going to turn it over to the manager. He has a lot more answers for you.
I would start by telling you that this was just as much of a shock to you as it was to me about, I'm going to say, 2 to 3 weeks ago. So at that point, I started asking questions and we started making phone calls. And last week, we got to the right people at the county Their dredge spoils, our code enforcement people and construction officials met with people, talked to Michelle Grissom, who put us in charge with the proper people there. And those, they do have the permits. The spoils have been tested, so the same concerns you had, I had. I also asked why Shunpike as opposed to other areas, because we've been moving up, there's been spoils moved around the township besides that. We had them on the other side of the canal. We went through this for 2 months, taking them out. Sunset Boulevard out to Cape May Point. That went on about a year and a half ago. But in this one here, they do have permits, they have been tested, and the reason for Shunpike was the traffic isn't as thick as it is on Seashore Road there. So that was the determination to use the road with the least traffic. I will also say on their behalf, from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock, they have a street cleaner there because...
Yes, we know about the street cleaner. He's also a pain in the butt.
Well, okay. Well, I just want to finish what I know. Because we had the same dredge spoils coming from other parts of the county into Lower Township behind Hawk Haven for 6 months. And all those residents were complaining because the roads were filthy. Because as they got closer and closer there, the trucks leaked. And we didn't have street cleaners. So we've been through this 2 other times. Just so happens with this one there, I see it. And I've been expecting people to come in. But the only other comment I would make concerning your comments is that I am ecstatic that the county stepped up and got rid of the biggest eyesore and contamination in my mind in Cape May County with taking down that former Everlon building. We all felt that would be there, and every year the price kept going up, up, up. When that number went north of $5 million, I knew the township wasn't in a position, but the county stepped up and got that job done. And now, not just completed the project, we have a beautiful tech village going on there. So there is economic development that's happening there. If you go in there, you know, it took a long time, but now it's happening. And there's more to come. There's a big EDA grant that's coming in. Maybe these things aren't of concern, but they're concerned to us and our officials. There's going to be a lot more jobs coming to this area, something that we need drastically. So I differ with you with regards to that. But as far as the spoils, I will apologize. But as Councilman Conrad stated, the DRBA is an autonomous situation. They can do certain things. They don't report to our ABC with regards to and permitting, etc. They're a very powerful organization. And I don't know the final plans of what these spoils are, what this is all about. So I don't want to pretend I do. I'm just telling you, we have checked it out and they're legal in what they're doing.
When I spoke to the engineer in Delaware, he told me this could go on, he's thinking until March or even up to November of this year. That's a long time to listen to that amount of trucks going down my street.
Well, I will reach out to, personally, I will reach out to, and I'll get the mayor involved with this, or the new mayor involved with this, and we will talk with Tom Cook, so maybe I can give you some more answers by the next meeting. But
and if you know someone that they answer to, if you want to tell me who they are, I'll make the phone call to
Governor Murphy.
I will call him myself.
So, when he said permits, don't think it was the township or the county giving the permits. The state DEP gave them the permits. And the funny thing is, if we try to get permits, they contact everybody around to see if everything's okay. The state DEP didn't even contact us to let us know what's going in our township.
How could that be? How could that be? I don't understand.
Neither do we.
So in other words, I'm stuck listening to the noise, worrying about my soil being contaminated and my wells, and worrying if I can sit outside. And nobody's going to help. Nobody's going to do anything. They're going to let the big...
Well, ma'am, we're going to help you. We're going to get a hold of the DRBA, and if we can call Tom Cook ourselves, and we'll have them. We should have a an open session right here in Town Hall where they can explain what's going on. Because to be honest with you, I'd like to know
Yeah,
myself.
I'd like that, my neighbors would like that.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, thank you very much.
You got it. Thank you for your time.
Before you leave, could I just get some information on you so I can stay in contact, or you give it to our clerk? Because we're going to...
We'll make sure that the information is distributed in your area for when we'll get something set up for all the residents.
Okay, appreciate it, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Yep. Anyone else? I don't see anybody else. At this point, we close the public portion.
Resolution number 2020-51, a resolution providing for a meeting not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12. This is to discuss attorney-client privilege and negotiation updates. Council may return to take action after closed session.
All right, can I get a motion to go into closed session?
We'll make a motion, we go into closed session.
I'll second motion.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simon?
Yes.
Open session at 8:34. This is for resolution 2020-52, bid acceptance and contract
Well,
award
it's
for
going in and
shellfish
out.
landing, safety improvements, and identification program. This bid will be awarded to Charles Marandino, LLC, in the amount of $1,240,725.
A motion to approve?
Second.
Public comment?
No, public comment.
Councilmember Conrad?
Yes.
Councilmember Perry?
Yes.
Councilmember Roy?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sippel?
Yes.
Mayor Simonson?
Yes.
Okay, and just a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous.